R&B Money. We up. Thank Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm Valentine.
And this
is
the R&B Money Podcast.
Yes, it is.
The authority
What?
on all things R&B. I stay sick of this shit. Tired.
Because it's probably 4 a.m.
It's probably 4 a.m.
I don't, shit.
And
if you stay up too late, it
you're
might kill
damn
you.
right I'm at the strip club. You're damn right. And I know it kills you. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing but talent, beauty, and grace on the pod today. Give it up, Melanie Fiona. Yeah! Yeah!
This is lovely.
We've been saying we're going to do this.
Listen, I've been at your house multiple times.
I'll just randomly walk up to her like,
how come you ain't been on the podcast yet?
Doing?
I was like, we're coming.
you at the nigga house, man.
We're chilling, drinking, kids playing. I'm like, what do we got to do?
Everything in its right time.
I agree.
Everything in its right
It's
time.
harder to get like our personal friends on the podcast. What is that about?
I don't know.
No, you know what?
I know you were waiting.
I was waiting.
You wanted to connect it
Yes.
to some cool shit.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me look
The
at my phone.
rollout. Come on, roll out.
Yeah.
Give him the rollout.
Because I want to
roll out.
We don't usually follow no rules, but he gonna go ahead and get it.
No. Because this is the beginning of the pod. They're tuned in right now.
Right now.
Right now. You know what I'm saying?
now.
If they don't stay on for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, we got them right now.
Okay.
Singles. Say Yes and I Choose You.
Yes.
Give
New
just-
singles.
New singles. Give me a little bit about those two records.
Oh, Say Yes is like my artful offering.
Mm-hmm.
It is a completely live song produced by
that.
Dre Harris, Thundercats playing bass, Charlie Burrell on guitar.
You better stop it.
Chris Dave on drums.
You better stop it.
You made all the phone
Ugh.
calls.
Sir co-wrote this song, singing backgrounds. I mean, this is like, I feel music lovers like gonna be their favorite song. Like they just can appreciate what it is. And the truth is the song is a 7-minute song. But what we released is only 4 minutes.
Oh, you
Just
went back to
4
the
minutes.
Prince days.
Oh yeah, I wanted to give, first of all, the song is about saying yes to love. It's about stepping over fear. It's about being really vulnerable, heart in hand. But the mood and the energy of the vibe, because it was a live session, is just so sexy that it was like, you want to do something in 7 minutes?
Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Just keep going. Yeah.
So whatever anybody wants to do in 7 minutes when they listen to Say Yes, get it done. I love that. You count. Listen, you could
7 minutes can be
you could
interesting.
do a lot in 7
Yeah,
minutes.
you
You can do a lot in 7
You can
minutes.
do a lot in 7 minutes.
You package it right.
Okay, you better say yes in 7 minutes. Okay, so I really love Say Yes. It's such a vibe. It's such just a beautiful, I think, vulnerable story. And I wrote it about, being in the space of when I first started dating my husband, and
awesome.
we were doing this dance of we love each other, but we're scared. We're both out of relationships, and what do we want to do? And so we have to say yes. And so I also feel like it's a manifestation song because we had to get to our life by saying yes that we have now. And then I Choose You is just fun. It's it's for the lovers again. I wanted to make a song that people could play at their weddings, but it's like lovers rock, Waiting in Vain by Bob Marley vibe. And it's about the empowerment of choice and what it is and what it means to choose someone, to make the choice, to choose love, to choose yourself, to choose to show up how you need to in that relationship through all the whatever it is. So, it's like, I Choose You to me is just such a powerful statement. Every time I've ever heard that, when I think about it, Ryan Leslie wrote a song called I Choose You. And it was always one of my favorite things. And I actually said it in my wedding vows. So I turned it into a song.
Yeah.
And it's something that people could dance to and rock to and smoke to and whatever. It's just a vibe. It's just
Look at you out here making real life music.
No.
Yes.
That's what it should be. That's what it should be.
But that's what it should be. But you know what the thing is that I think that it would be a travesty if I just came out after all this time not putting out music and was singing about some shit that people were like, that's not her life.
Yeah.
And people know my life.
Yeah.
People have seen, they've asked, they've wondered, they've supported me through these different iterations of myself, from podcasting to motherhood, to being a woman, to transitioning into motherhood, all the things. Like, people have been with me on that. I'm now a wife, I'm a businesswoman, I'm an entrepreneur, and still an artist and a musician. So I think it's only honest for people to get insight, true authentic insight into the feelings and the experiences that have been happening all this time.
And I think there is an entertainment part of what this is, but I think the movie of it all is your life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The sitcom of it all, it is your life.
Yes.
Which ultimately, if we think about the things that have entertained us the most, it has always been family based for us. It always been the Huxtables.
Man.
It's always been Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's always been Martin. It's always where it's like it's life.
It's life.
You know what I mean?
And honestly, like I'm also just in a very positive space in my life. And love is to me just the ultimate connector. It is the ultimate energy. It's the ultimate feeling. And so I just want to inject more of that into the world right now. Come on. You know, like that I feel I have a responsibility to do. And I feel like I've done that in different ways with other songs. They've been heartbreak songs or, you know, like really like pleading ballads. And that helps people understand love in a different way. But this project and these songs particularly, I really wanted to inject love and high vibration and have people smile when they hear it and send it to people when they hear it. So that's...
So you be like sound bathing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We be sound bathing.
Yeah,
we
but
be
I fell
meditating.
asleep at one time. They invited me to the sound bath.
That's actually good. You know what? People say that like, no, because I'm telling you, when I first started...
Wait, they left me though. Everybody left.
Oh, no.
Everybody left.
So you woke
But
up
you
like
know
this.
what? They're respecting the grounding.
They said, you know what? Jay cooked.
Listen, because you know what the thing is that that's like how you wake up on a plane.
That's how you
too.
wake up.
That's all I think. Man.
But you know what? There is something really beautiful about that because your body is just telling you like you've actually released and relaxed to be able to
I don't know
sleep.
if that's for me because
No, that's
Can
not
you
him.
fall asleep? Okay,
You
never
can't-
mind.
Listen, if we stop talking right now for 5 minutes,
Oh, you narcoleptic?
no.
I'm not narcoleptic, but I get comfortable. Like I live in comfort.
Don't go to the movies with him.
Oh, movies.
Do you dream?
Gone.
Do you dream?
Yeah, I dream.
Okay.
No, he goes straight to REM fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
He's
man.
gone. You don't got to worry about him.
Yeah,
He
you don't worry
knows.
about me. Not about
You
that.
don't need no gummies.
They
You
be
don't need no
like,
melatonin.
Hell no.
You're out.
I'm from the hood. I think everybody that do shit is a dope fiend. So I don't fuck with nothing. I'm like, you do what? Oh, nigga, you a dope fiend.
Oh my God. No, I mean I love that for you. Sleeping is
No, it's really
a
tough for a lot of
gift.
people.
Yes.
Yeah, so now it is absolutely a gift.
Today
but,
is today the release date of
No, the 2 songs are already out.
to release. Okay, 2
They're-
songs are out.
Yes, but they're 2 songs ahead of a 6-song EP that's coming out at the top of the year.
Beautiful.
Yes. And the EP is also called Say Yes.
I think, like, I mean, and we've had this conversation before. I think, like, what you do, how you articulate it, like the energy of it all, is so needed. And I say this a lot, because I got this from one of my friends, Jason. He was just like, when the really talented people, when the really great and amazing people take breaks, that's when the imbalance happens. And for the young people who are growing up with these gifts and these talents and need something or someone to hang on to, someone to help inspire and guide their way, when we're not present, they fall victim to the other side. And nothing wrong with whatever that is over there. I respect it. You know, whatever you got to do to get off the shelf and get out the hood or live whatever dream you're trying to live, I respect it. But there's something about our calling that is different to people who are like us. And just hearing you talk, knowing your talent, you know what I mean? Like, there's a fucking difference. Like your vibration and your energy is connected to something so amazing that we just don't need no Melanie Fiona breaks.
Melanie Fiona needed some breaks.
I know. Listen, and I respect it.
I
Respect it 100%.
You know what it is? It's that I think, and I appreciate you for those kind words. Thank you so much. Because I feel that in order for me to truly live in my greatest purpose, I needed to protect myself and I needed to refocus and I needed to ask myself, what do I want my life to look like.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that as artists, we don't sometimes give ourselves permission to do because we're so focused on making a living. So we forget that like our life is actually the thing, our life's purpose and our life's work is to take our whole life. So sometimes we take time. And I've been saying this a lot to people because like I've been, now that I'm back in like the promo run circle, a lot of artists are coming to me, like newer artists, younger artists, and they're like, I'm so happy you're back putting out music. And, you know, and I'll be like, how are things going for you? And they're like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to find where I got to work on this next project. And I'll say, you know, I was like, take your time. It's yours to take, you know, it's yours to take. And too often we just feel like we're on this demand of time. And if we're not in it, then we're out of it. And it's like, I think for me, and I'll speak for myself, is that I've always felt timeless.
Yeah.
I've never felt trendy or current.
I agree.
Or like, you know, too old or too young. My spirit has always felt like I've always just been in my right time. And just as long as I'm being true to who I am and what I want to do, then there'll always be a place for it, you know? And I think the expectations of starting and having a really strong foundation, you know, having success as far as what it is, numbers wise or accolades. And I've experienced that. And I've recognized that that's a blessing as well. Like it's also afforded me the choice to decide how I want to shape my life, you know? So maybe if I didn't achieve some of the things that I had, I might still be like, oh, I gotta. But when I got there and I realized there was more to my well-being and more that I had to offer, then I had to really ask myself, like, what do I want my life to look like, you know? So I won't be taking any more breaks as far as,
listen,
you know.
take your time.
I'll take my time.
But just know the clock is ticking. Just know the people are watching and waiting.
You know what? And that's why I wanted to put out 2 singles out the gate, because it had been a while and I wanted to give, you know, just not just one. And that's the beautiful thing about music and just the landscape of music right now. Like there's no rules.
No rules.
And I'm independent and I can like do that.
My money.
You know, and I can do that, you know. So
What's the name of your company?
Love Link.
Love Link?
Love Link Music. It's my children's middle names.
That sounds
Kaya
like a
Love and Cameron Lincoln. So Love Link Music.
That sounds like a piece of jewelry.
For sure.
That is
for sure.
sold.
It does. It absolutely does.
You know what? You better manifest
Come
it
on.
because
Make the bracelet, make the chain. Come
No,
on.
because jewelry is in my creative wheelhouse.
Love Link. You need to make the Love Link.
It is in, oh my gosh. Listen, you guys, this is just, I love it. I'm so happy. And by the way, like, I've just been in a very powerful, energetic season of my life. So I receive everything as affirmations. I receive everything as confirmation and divine. So the fact that you're saying that when I'm in this season of already in creation and ideation of that is just like, yeah. Here we are. Here we are. Yeah.
So.
Oh, we get comfortable. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me adjust myself now. Hold on. Okay.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Okay.
When did someone say, or when did you realize that you had something different?
I think I realized it when I was 4 years old.
You realized it when you were 4. Explain that.
So when they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I said I wanted to be a singing nurse. And I have carried that very cute title for the majority of my life, thinking, what a cute idea. And it was only until I really started to recognize how I was impacting people through healing when I was putting out music that I realized, oh, my 4-year-old self, she already knew what I was supposed to be. She already knew that I was supposed to be this blend of music and healing in this person. She said it. And I've written it in books as a child. My parents told me, family members. And every time I used to say that growing up, like, what did you want to be? Did you always know you wanted to be a singer? And I was like, yeah, when I was little, I used to say I wanted to be a singing nurse. But then I realized it when I had first started putting out music and It Kills Me came out. And that to me was like, oh, this has already been written for you. And your 4-year-old self knew this about you.
Had you already been singing like in church or just?
So I grew up immigrant parents, Guyanese household. My parents are from the Caribbean. my dad played guitar. He used to sing in a band on the weekends and evenings. Like this was a thing. So I grew up with music in the house. But my dad also worked a day job. My dad and my mom worked full-time jobs. And I didn't grow up in the industry or even grow up singing in church. Like I didn't.
But the music was in the house.
But the music was in the house, you know. But the idea of becoming a professional singer, especially coming from Toronto, like that wasn't a thing that we saw. You know, we knew about it, but we didn't see it from where we were. We knew America and we knew the world. But in Canada, like as a kid growing up, like we knew Celine Dion. And then eventually we would go on, and then in R&B you would see Glenn Lewis and you'd see Deborah Cox and Tamia, and then you're like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
But growing up as a little girl, like I knew I wanted to sing, but I didn't know how I was going to get there.
Gotcha.
You know, I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I was also really active in a lot of things. I played sports. I loved school.
What sport you play?
Oh, I played basketball. I played volleyball, track and field, cross country.
They kept you busy.
I kept myself busy. My mom and dad called me Dionys Sanders
Dionys.
because I would just come home and don't ask for permission. I'd just be like, I joined the volleyball team, and my mom would be like, well, how are you gonna, like, who's gonna take
I'm
you?
gonna get there.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
like who's?
I'll talk to one of the parents.
I
They gonna pick me
joined
up.
every team I could. I was a very, very active child as far as like wanting to try things. Very precocious,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
outgoing. You know, but when it came to singing, I was so shy. Like I knew I could sing and everybody knew I could sing. But when you had the family function, Melanie, come sing.
Yeah.
I would make everyone turn around.
That direct, something about that direct eye contact
It's
Yeah.
just not
Yeah.
cool.
You know?
Look away.
Yeah, don't look at me. Don't look at me. And I would look up and I didn't want to be looked at. It was really interesting to think about that because now performing is like my favorite thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
put me on stage, please. But I didn't want to be looked at, which is really interesting. So, you know, going through the process of like teenage years, and then even when I was a teenager, I'd gone through some like really hard things around 12, 13. I'd lost like my best friend to a car accident. We moved, my grandmother passed away. Like there was a lot of life changes. And I felt like at that time, my light went like this. And I kind of became a different shell of myself. And so when I started high school and you had the opportunity to choose music or art, I chose art. And I didn't do music. And it's almost like this thing that I wasn't sharing anymore. I wasn't singing. No one really knew when I first started high school that I could sing. Like I did the play and it was kind of like maybe. And then it was only until like my senior year when I started to ask myself, like, what do I want to do with my life? And then I was like, you're a singer, Melanie. Like you're good at sports. You're smart. You can do but you're a singer. Like that's the thing you do better than anything. So why hide that? Like why not bring that into actually who you are? And why not that be the thing that everybody really knows about you because that's who you are. Like the singing nurse, you know, like you've known this about yourself. Why hide this part of yourself? So then I started to sing that I was in the talent show and then I started showing more publicly that I can sing. And then that led me to kind of getting into the music industry. And
then in Toronto, or not just Toronto, but in Canada, isn't there something set up for the arts as far as like the government?
So there's funding that you can get. There's grants, like, but you have to apply and you have to get chosen and you have to do that. And like, I was at that time as a teenager, like I wasn't even thinking about pursuing a career.
Okay.
You know, I really wasn't. Like I was just like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna own that I can sing. So when I say that like I kind of stepped away from it, it wasn't my whole identity. Where, you know, some people would be like, oh, she was singing her whole life in church and in all the things, you know? So when I actually got into the music industry, I was just out of high school and I had joined a girl group in Toronto. And
you got to get in the group.
You got to start in the
Come on,
group.
hit us with
Did
the
it
name.
really happen if you didn't start it?
Hit us with the name. Hit us with the name.
Exquisite.
Yeah. EX or just X though?
X.
Come on, X.
X
Come on,
dash
X.
QU.
Yeah.
Okay? X dash QU.
Exquisite.
Exquisite.
Yeah.
Okay?
I like
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
So that's how we got started. And it's funny.
Did it come along with a bankhead bounce?
You know, it didn't. It kind of came along with like a little bogle. We were like a little pop R&B group. But it was funny because that introduction for me too was like, I never saw myself being in a group, but I had the opportunity to get into a studio. And I was like, I've never been in a studio. Like 18 years old? Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I'm rolling.
let's go. I want to go into
So
a
at
studio.
this point, you had never sang
Never.
in the booth.
Never.
And okay, for the people that don't understand what that is.
Yeah.
Give them the difference from like, you singing at school, you singing around the house, this, that, and the other, to the moment you get in that studio, you get that playback, and you get to hear yourself.
Oh, yeah. You get to hear yourself. And then also you sing it over and over and over and over again because you didn't.
I mean, in the old days.
Yeah, over the old days.
Now,
I don't know.
Now they just be, whatever come out, we keep it.
You know what's so funny?
What?
I can fix that.
You know what? God bless technology. But I'm still one of those people that's like, nah, I feel like I could get it better. I still do. I don't want to rely on it too hard. But that's the truth. Is like getting into the studio. That was the first time I got to hear myself on radio, like on record. So, and then also too, being in a girl group dynamic, now I'm hearing myself compared to other voices. How does my voice blend? How do we blend together?
Yeah,
What does my voice bring to a song when it comes on a record?
Yeah,
So it really started to teach me a lot about my particular voice as opposed to just being a singer. You're a good singer. You can sing really well.
Yeah.
You love Whitney Houston, me too, but you sing really well.
Now you got to sing harmonies. Now you got to
sing
do the whole thing. Yeah.
You gotta gel, and then also, just learning about the business with sisters, or like who became sisters. I mean, one of the girls I'm still very, very close friends with, and it was like training camp. It was like boot camp basically. And I quickly learned that I just wasn't going to be in the group. The business around that whole situation was just terrible, and it just fell apart quickly. And, we never went on to do anything. We had like one song that came out. We did a local success in Toronto, did a little television show up there. It was cool. But that really gave me the introduction to, I think, people then in the industry paying attention to me as a singer. And then that's what led me to then meet at the time would become my manager, who was from the States, who knew somebody in the music industry in Toronto. And then that's how I crossed the border. After that, that's how I left home, and that's how I started to establish my career. And then I came out here, and then I started working.
So how did you mean you get across the border?
Oh, I had to cross the border. Yes. So I'm from Toronto.
So were you saying, I need to go there?
Yes.
In order to really figure this out.
Oh yeah.
Coming to America.
It's coming to America.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a story that if you talk to most Canadian artists that are successful outside of Canada, that was always the goal back then, like to leave, to get noticed and achieve success and establishment in the United States. Like this was the mecca of that, all R&B, all hip hop. We didn't have BET growing up. Like we didn't have MTV. We had Much Music, so it's very.
You had what?
Pop, much music. Yeah, I've heard of Much Music.
Much Music, which I don't even think exists anymore. It's like it's interesting. And then especially for R&B, what are we talking about? I remember being a kid and we used to get WBLK from Buffalo, which was the R&B station. And you could only get it in the car. So we would listen to, that's how we got R&B.
Gotcha.
Is by like listening to the Buffalo station outside of Toronto. Like, and then there was like the college stations that were starting to, the DJs that would come and run their own sets. And then that's how we got, and I had a brother who was 7 years older than me. So he gave me a lot of music education because he was in the clubs when I was listening to Disney. Yeah. So it was different. But going to the States, that was it. Like you got a flight, you got to go, you got to take a meeting. I got to meet people that I dreamed of hearing, but like just getting into the studio, that was crazy. But again, the boot camp of the girls group really helped me not be completely lost. And it helped me. It was the stepping stone to prepare for the American music industry.
Yeah.
So it was, and I know we got away from the.
No, you were coming across the border.
Yeah. So I came across the border and then I came across and then it was like, all right, what's your sound? And I was like, a sound? I'm a voice. There's a sound we have to create?
Right.
So the first producer that I ended up getting in with was Super Dupes. And Dupes at the time was a part of a sound called Black Chinese, which was a reggae collective, just completely reggae collective. And I started there because being Caribbean, of Caribbean background, coming from Toronto, that's my juice. That's what I know. R&B, like this fusion of R&B and reggae. And so that's where I started. And I started as an artist named Siren.
Huh.
Yes. And that was my first artist name.
Siren.
Yeah. But it's like a play on Symphony Siren. Because my homeboy that was in Toronto at the time, he was a rapper, and he gave me that name. He used to call me Symphony. And then Siren came along with the sirens, and they're the vocalists, and da-da-da-da. So
Siren.
that's how that came. You like that?
I like it.
You approve?
I like it.
But then I found out it was a porn star, and I had to change that name. So then
That's probably why he like it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I didn't know. I promise.
It spoke to you, though.
I know.
It spoke to you, though. It spoke to you.
What'd you say about like the cards and what'd you say? Some things are just
was
in the.
speaking to
it's
you.
in the- yeah.
Speaking to you. It was speaking
That's
to you.
not fair.
But very on brand.
His
The very on
childhood
brand.
kicked in.
It's not fair.
But yeah, so I started making music with Dupes in like his house, and again it was very intimate, and I learned a lot again about singing, and we were creating music, and then I got in with Mike City,
Mm.
and that
Early.
and then I got in with Mike City, and Mike City was like studying under a master.
Yeah.
Then I realized I didn't know shit. Like then I was like, oh, I got to learn a lot.
Yeah.
I have to learn a lot. And Mike taught me a lot. And we created some amazing records. And Mike City, when I first got brought to him, Mike City said to me, he was listening to me sing, because we were like chopping it up at first. And then, you know, you have that meeting and then they're like, all right, let me hear you sing something, right? So then I sang something and Mike City just stopped. And he goes, damn, you can sing. I didn't know what I was expecting to hear you sing. And he's like, but you know what's really special about you, Mel? He says, your tone. And that was the first time I understood why I loved artists like India Ari and Sam Cooke, Gladys Knight.
Tone.
Yeah.
Tone.
Tone, baby.
Tone.
There's a tone.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And so Whitney Houston to me is the sweetest tone. So when Mike City said that, then again, I came back to the singing nurse. Who are you? What are you going to be? What is your voice? What do you represent? And then I was like, you got a tone. So don't worry about anything else. Your tone is your identity. Stay that. So that's how.
But
the
you don't
journey
have
began.
you don't have a deal or anything. You're going to make a demo.
No, I'm going to make demos.
You're going to make a demo.
I'm going to make demos.
You
And
get
in that
to Mike
time
City.
too,
That's
Yeah.
great.
and in that time too, like I can't even forget. There's so much I went through in that time. Like started working with the underdogs, even in that time too. Being with the underdogs, Harvey over there taking me in and singing backgrounds on like movie scores and using my voice in that way, and meeting James Fauntleroy for the first time.
Right.
You know, and being like, you're an incredible person.
Yeah.
And I want to share this story too, because I always want to say this, because James Fauntleroy to me is just the GOAT. According to this podcast, I'm the coldest motherfucker to ever live. There will be, what did he say? There will be a chill in the air after I'm gone. One of the hardest lines that's ever been said. But truly, I met James in that time too. And you know what James said to me, and it never left me. He said, I want to write like one of the biggest songs in history. And this is before he had any like big cuts. This is before No Air. This is before all of that. And he was like, I want to write one of the biggest songs ever, Mel. We were right across the street from that studio at that wing spot. You know that wing spot that used to be across from that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were eating, and he was like, yeah, I want to write one of the biggest songs. And I was like, he's like, I want to write a song like as big as Happy Birthday. I want people everywhere in the world to sing my song. And I just remember being like, they will. Like, I just saw the greatness in James Fauntleroy, just a newbie coming into the game, being like, what? And he was just so kind and so sweet. And I was like, oh my God, like, your greatness. So like, I was around a lot of amazing people from the underdogs, Dupes and Mike City, and these times when I didn't have a deal. And this is how I'm being introduced to the music industry. Like, I was just so happy to be there.
Yeah.
So happy to be there, you know?
And you're doing all this in LA.
All of this is happening in LA. All this is happening in LA. And then I pivoted to New York. And
you came to LA first.
I came to LA first.
Okay. Because it would seem like it would make more sense to go to New York first.
No.
From Toronto.
Yeah, because my team at the time was based in LA.
Okay.
And so actually, when I very, very, very first left LA, Toronto, I went to Oakland. I went to the Bay Area because my manager at the time, she was from Oakland. And so she kind of dropped me off there and was like, hey, you're going to go into like artist development. And so I was taking dance classes. I was really working on like body movement and performance. Like I was learning about all the things that goes in, which is a dying art these days.
Yeah, but it's the reason why you're still here.
Yeah.
Shout out. Shout out to the real ones. So that's what I'm saying. Like there was a lot of development in finding where I was going to, where was my creative team? Where did my voice live? What songs did I want to sing? And I remember sitting on the floor in a hotel room with my manager at the time, and we were sitting there and we were taking these meetings, and there was like this disconnect from people not really knowing what to do with me vocally or production wise or whatever, like labels, like what do we do? What do we do? And then it was when I went to New York, and then I linked up with Andrea Martin. And that's where the sonic that became the amazing, legendary, may she rest in paradise forever.
Oh man. Amazing songwriter.
I mean, that I get very emotional thinking about her because I finally found someone who understood me and knew what to do with my voice. And again, I was just so grateful to be under someone so gifted and talented. And she was also Guyanese, and she was in New York, and we understood each other. She had a big voice like me. She could sing and write anything. So she really took me under her wing, and then I felt like I had found my musical collaborator. Yeah. And that's the birth of It Kills Me. Wow. And that's the birth of the whole first album, The Bridge. And, you know, she understood what it was what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a big voice, but I was a young girl, and I wanted to not be labeled into one box, and I wanted to bridge genres. And I grew up listening to Sam Cooke and Lauryn Hill, and so I wanted to rap and do throwback retro mixed with R&B and hip hop. Like and she just got it, and she understood it. And that's really what the first album was about. It was called The Bridge because there were so many different sonics on there, bridging genres, bridging time eras, bridging, you know, conversations. And it was a really important time. So that was a lot of late nights in the studio.
And are you living in New York at this point?
No, I'm still living in Toronto. I'm still living in Toronto. And I'm just going back and forth.
Going back and forth.
And sleeping on my uncle's couch and hotels when there's a budget for it. Or like,
but at this point, you're signed.
No.
Right? Wait, so you did It Kills Me before you signed?
So I did It Kills Me before I signed.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, listen.
I was signed to a production company.
Yeah, the production company, the managers. They knew a lot of people.
They
really put you in some places to succeed.
They really did. And, you know, and shout out to Jay Brown too. He was a part of that because he was a part of that. He's the one who brought me to Mike City, you know. So there was a lot of people who, and that's one of the reasons why my mom was like, my Guyanese mother who never let me do anything was like, I guess I'm going to let you go explore what this looks like. You know, and I think about that even too. Like my parents only knew anything about education, you know, like, what do you mean you're going to pursue music? I mean, my dad, artist at heart for sure. But, you know, the idea of pursuing a career in music, like for my family, I'm the first to even think about that.
Right.
My parents didn't have a television growing up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, that's a crazy thing. So, you know, even now going back to my parents giving me the permission and the grace to go, knowing that they were probably terrified to let me do that.
I'm sure.
You know, and put all your eggs in this basket of music. And what does that mean? You know, and by the way, this is the craziest part. I was doing college at the same time.
Oh, you actually did go to school too.
I did go to school. I was doing college at the same. So after the girl group, I said to my parents, if it didn't work out, I was going to go to college. So I started college. And then during college is when I met my production management company, and then I left. And so then I was going back and forth and doing all these things during breaks or like summers or like whatever I had some time. And
how long is that process from leaving Toronto, still in school, but then getting your deal?
It was about 4 years.
Yeah.
About 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 years.
This whole time you still living in
I'm
Toronto?
still living at home.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still living at home. You know, when I came to the States, I would crash at my manager's house, or like I had family in New York, I would crash with them. And then, you know, when I started shopping, we got It Kills Me, we recorded It Kills Me, and we were like, all right, it's time It's time to go. Time to go for the deals. And we took those songs and we went into these meetings. And I took a bunch of meetings and played It Kills Me for a bunch of labels. And a lot of them did not know.
That was going to be my next question.
You know they passed.
Yeah.
You know how this shit goes.
That show was going to be my next question.
They didn't know.
Smash record.
They didn't see it.
They didn't know. And then I was in there singing that song too. So it's not like, can you really do this? No, I'm singing it.
Yeah.
So, it was, I think a lot of the feedback, and not even I know because they said it. They were like, these songs feel too grown for you, like too old for you. Like you're like R&B, like big ballad. Like, why do you want to do that when you could be more of a pop art? And I was like, because I'm a singer.
Mm-hmm. You're too talented for
like I'm a sing because I want to sing.
They can even process.
I want to sing. Yeah. Like why? I don't want to not sing. I want to sing. I want to. Like, do you know who I used to fall asleep to I used to listen to Whitney Houston. I used to dream about having a voice like that. What? Like, so now I get It Kills Me and I'm like, I'm finally singing to the capacity and the range that I know I can. And you're telling me that I shouldn't? And it was just so disappointing. It was really heartbreaking until I met Steve Rifkin. And I walked into SRC Records and we played It Kills Me, and he played It Kills Me 13 times in that meeting. 13 times. Back to back to back. He was so excited. He was so excited. And he just said, oh, no, you can't leave. I have a showcase tomorrow. You need to be in it. He was doing a showcase for his new talents because SRC had just started. And it was crazy. Akon was on the label. Tammy Chin. Who else? Chantel. French Montana was like a part of that whole, like, it was like a whole, it was crazy. Asher Roth, like this was like a, and Steve came from hip hop.
Right.
So I'm walking in as this R&B girl into this, hip hop label. And I'm like, what am I going to do here? But he got it. He had the passion. He had the yes, like, yes, we're doing this. And he didn't let me leave. And I stayed that weekend and he gave me a contract that weekend. He had the paperwork sent over. And, he was like, I want you to make the album that you want to make. He said, go make it.
That's dope.
He said, go make it.
That's dope.
And then we finished making The Bridge. And that's how we finished making The Bridge.
Come
and
on.
Shout out to
Come on,
Steve. Yeah,
Steve.
shout out to Steve.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just still doing it too. Like, and Steve just was so supportive. Like everything that we wanted to do. Like Steve was like, yeah, let's go. You need to go on this tour? Okay, cool. Like all the things. But, one funny fact is after I got my record deal and I went back home, I got stuck in Canada. And I couldn't come back to the States.
Because you overstayed?
Well, not I overstayed because now, like, I had been going back and forth. I wasn't working technically, you know. So now, look at this. So now I'm going up to immigration to go back. And they're like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to finish my album. And they're like, your album? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you're a recording artist? And I was like, yeah. Like, I got a record deal. And they were like, where's your visa?
Oh, you got to have a work visa.
I was like, what do you mean visa?
Well, it's on my debit.
Your excitement got your ass caught up.
They got Visa on my debit if you look like
I was like, I got a Visa, I got a MasterCard. No, they were like, you have a recording, you have a contract.
Yeah, you gotta have.
They're like, your intention is to make money. We can't let you into this country. Shit. You have a contract. And I was like, but I was traveling with my documents. Like I was like, no, I'm legitimate. They were like, girl.
You just didn't know though.
I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know. And no one really knew at the time. And so then I was stuck in Canada for 8 months.
No.
While my visa was getting cleared. Yeah.
It took 8 months to get it cleared?
8 months.
They be tripping.
So all you had to do though was just be like, oh, I'm just going to hang out.
Yeah, but I could have said that. But if at that reason they had then because if there was press or anything that had gotten released and they had found it, then I'd have been really, really screwed. So they, so that also then was like momentum. And it was like, oh, slow down again, slow down. So, it was an interesting time, but we ended up getting the work visa. I then became an alien of extraordinary ability on an 01.
Huh.
I love that title forever. Yeah. That's what an 01 is. An alien of extraordinary ability. So back to what you were asking, that was another time somebody said you're extraordinary. The government told me you're an alien of extraordinary ability.
Them people said.
But But it was a whole bunch of petitioning, and like people had to be like, yeah, we vouch for her, the label, all that stuff. So
no, it was a real 8 months. They gotta stop with that.
8 months.
It don't take no 8 months.
I mean,
somebody just need to look on their desk and sign.
She's harmless.
Sign the goddamn paper.
It was a lot.
It's a process.
It was a process.
Yeah, it's just a process.
Listen, it's immigration, as we know, a hot topic these days.
Yeah, it is now. For sure.
So then I got my visa, and then I was down here, and then it was just like, all right, let's go, finish the album, finish the bridge. And
so for that 8 months though, you're not recording, you're not doing, you just home.
I'm home. I'm recording in my closet.
So you got your little jail bid.
I had my little jail bid. Yep. I had
but
my
you got a little money in your pocket though too, because you got your
got a little bit.
But you got a couple dollars.
Got a little advance.
A couple dollars. A couple dollars.
And you didn't move out. You stayed at your parents' house.
I stayed at my parents' house.
Now, do people know, like, people know, like, in your community, your circle, know that you got a deal, and you kind of popping now?
I mean, like they did, but I'm still living at my mama's house, so like it's like but also you have to remember I'm Canadian,
so
like it's very, very humble,
very
like at that time it's nice. Oh my God, I got money. I was paying off debts. That's what I did with my money.
Okay,
because I was responsible. Okay, I was a child.
You are
of
not me.
No, I'm not, and that is why we are both. That is why you are you, and you are great for being you.
Debts. I'ma holler at y'all.
Now listen,
going to the strip club.
I'ma holler at the debts.
You gotta remember, I am a young woman in my early 20s, like in my parents' house. They are immigrants. Remember, like there was no flashy, like. There was nothing I was flashing. I was recording in my closet, and because I had actually put out a reggae song called "Somebody Come Get Me First." It's like a single off of like a one-off that was on like Reggae Gold.
That's when you was
Siren. So they put it out under Siren because that's how I recorded it, and
that's how Tank would know you.
It was not that Siren. Siren Tank knows a different Siren now. Okay,
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Sorry to that woman.
I got it. Now you fucking with my curiosity.
No, to the internet, to the Google. Don't do it. But yes, so there was a song, and so what I was doing in that time was I was recording dub plates in my closet for all the reggae sounds and all the DJs.
You were cooking.
I was cooking with my clothes being the soundproof.
Soundproof. Yeah.
It was wild. It was wild times. But yeah, then I got stuck, and then I came out to the States.
What year is this?
This is 2008.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you already out of the second group that we didn't mention.
It wasn't really a group. Everybody loves this story, but it's not really a group. Go ahead, because everybody asks, they love it. It's a good soundbite.
Yeah, you're in like a fake group.
I was in a fake group.
You're in a fake group.
I was in a collective.
A collective.
I was in a collective.
I like that.
I was in a collective. I was in a collective with Drake. Okay, guys. Let's get it out there. Okay. Because it's all over the internet anyways. But yeah, this was before he was rapping. This was before I had a deal. And my manager at the time, like we had all connected again. Remember the people that I told you that I met my manager through? They had all connected us with a bunch of people. And then I had met Drake when he was just on television, but was embarking into rap. And so we would do these little live performances at this like supper club in Toronto,
but never recording anything.
Never recorded anything. Just live. We'd cover songs. We'd perform our own records. Like some of the songs that I was recording and demoing, and that's what I was doing in the States. I would practice some of those songs, singing them live. And there was another vocalist in there by the name of Voice, and then a keyboard player named D10 who still plays. It goes on tour with Drake.
Okay.
But it was a really beautiful time because for me, I felt like I had known of the Cardinal Officials, you know what I mean? Like those, Julie Blacks, like Socrates and Chocolate and these dudes in Toronto. And then of course, Deborah Cox and to me and all the Canadians that had come before me. But I didn't have my own like crew.
Okay.
Outside of the girl group when we first started. But that time was just really beautiful to meet other artists in the city that were just so talented and clearly talented because he's gone on to become who he is. So, again, that's a really another story. It's crazy. I always forget there's so many really beautiful stories in the chapters until people ask, you know? And that was a part of that too. So, you know, we always had visions of going to, and that was before the Mike City era.
Okay.
That was right going into the Mike City era. So that was a really like educational time, like a really fun time just to perform live in the city. And
are you performing R&B stuff? Or are you performing more reggae dance type stuff?
No, I'm performing R&B.
Okay.
I'm performing R&B. So when I worked with Dupes, that was just what we were creating. The song like had R&B, had reggae vibes, but I was still singing R&B melodies, you know, but the music had reggae vibes. But yeah, the R&B songs, I was covering songs. I used to sing Fantasia's I never get old, truth is, that one. I love that song. And we used to just cover songs. It was like we were entertainment basically for the
y'all at the Mastros at the
yes
piano.
Exactly.
Yeah, going crazy.
Exactly. So that it was a good time. It was a good time. Sacred time.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So is And It Kills Me the first single?
So Give It To Me Right is actually the first
Give
single.
It To Me Right is the first
Yeah,
single.
that was the song. I did that with Andrea Martin as well. And that one was sampled the Zombies, Time of the Season. It's the time of the season. Doom, doom, doom. And there was like, that bass line was really popular at that time because there was an artist out of the UK named Duffy that came out, and she was also in the same thing. And Amy Winehouse was a huge inspiration. And like, this was that time of music. So Give It To Me Right came out, and that was the first single. And then It Kills Me followed after. And then It Kills Me came out, and that was really like the rocket.
The hit.
That was the hit. Yeah. That was the one.
And at this point, you in America, you living here now. Yes.
No. I'm still back and forth. Like before, okay, so yeah, like it was LA, it was New York, Toronto, back and forth. So like I always was going back and forth for years. I was going back and forth.
Even once the record took off.
Once the record took off, then I was going everywhere. Then I was just out of a suitcase. I was on the road.
Yeah.
But I would always go back home to Toronto. That was always home.
Who's your first tour with?
My first tour was Kanye West.
You and Kanye?
Glow in the Dark. Yeah.
I know that was fun.
Oh, it was so fun. It was.
You're on a Glow in the Dark tour.
I was on the European leg of the Glow in the Dark tour.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's your first time
Great.
on any form of a tour at all?
Arenas.
Of course.
Arenas. Yeah. It was quite.
So how was your stage setup?
This is amazing. Okay. My stage setup was a 3-piece band and 2 background singers.
Okay.
With an iPod.
Huh.
Run the aux. Play the tracks. Have the band play on top. And that was our set. Yep. That was our set. And we
With an
were
iPod.
Oh, with the iPod. You gotta remember what time this
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was aux cord.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, and I'm the one of many openers. It was me, Kid Cudi was on there, Consequence, Mr. Hudson, The Roots.
God damn.
Yeah, it was good. The Roots were actually on tour, so they didn't do every city. But yeah, me, Kid Cudi, Mr. Hudson, yay. And and I was the only female artist. I was the only female artist. And then I'm R&B like in this space. So I'm bringing a different energy. So I knew every night,
You got to win.
you got to win.
You got to win the crowd over.
You don't get an opportunity to lose. Like you're being introduced to Kanye's audience. First of all, Kanye was one of my favorite artists at the time. Like I was in awe, like a true fan. So I get on that stage every night, and I just knew that preparing for that tour taught me so much about the art of performance, because get out there and win them over every time. You don't, if this is your only time, get out there. And I don't care how long you got. You got 15 minutes, you got 20 minutes, you better give it everything. Cook. And I mean, back to back, you got to have a cover in there. You got to let people know that like you're here. And so it was good. I was doing well every single night. And then it was the last show of the tour.
And then
in Bercy Arena in Paris. And we're playing, and the iPod is rested on some sort of monitor or bass, and it jumps and skips, and the track cuts out. In Bercy Arena, thousands of people. It's like 15,000 people. I'm like, oh, you trained for it.
Yeah.
So what do I start doing? I start singing a cappella.
Hell yeah.
I start singing "Killing Me Softly" a cappella while they fix that shit behind me.
Yeah.
And
At least it wasn't like, girl, you know it's girl,
Oh,
you know it, girl, you know.
Yo.
Shit. I watched that documentary too. And I was like, God
listen,
damn.
no, but you know what though? But that was like a lot of that training. That was a lot of that artist development. That was, what do you do if your mic stops working? You go grab your background singer's
Right.
mic.
Right.
And then if that, what do you do? And then if you don't, you start singing out loud. Like, what do you do? What do you prepare for?
Right.
You know? And so I was like, here it is. And so I just started singing a cappella, and that arena went.
Because it's the thing that they tell you. The audience doesn't know. They don't know what. They don't know if that was a part of your show. They don't know if it was a poster cut off. They don't know until you now become the deer in the headlight and be like, I'm sorry, guy.
Yeah.
No, just fucking keep going.
Give 'em
Keep going.
Keep going.
And there was this one time where music went out. You know, I think they planned it, and she started singing, and you could hear
And
her.
now it's a thing.
Even though there was no mic. More artists need to do that. Like the way she set that up.
Yeah.
Not knowing.
Not knowing.
Not knowing. Yeah.
And so that was like a truly incredible experience, just to be basically just thrown into the ocean there and be like, all right, do you got it?
You swam.
I swam. I swam good.
I swam good.
Do you do you like feel the difference when you put out the first single?
Yeah.
And of course you're making your rounds.
Mm-hmm.
During that time you make your rounds with that first record and you hit the stations and you do a few radio station shows and you do maybe a couple of your own shows.
Yeah.
Versus when that And It Kills Me comes out.
Yeah.
And then those rounds are completely different. Do you feel the difference? Or did it just happen so fast for you?
No, it happened fast, but you definitely, like, when you become the artist that people know the song and then they're like, oh, the song, girl, that song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a difference. There's an arrival. You have arrived, you know? You have a song that people know. You have a song that people are singing and playing and pushing and go to #1 and earn you a Grammy nomination. And like, oh, now you're that girl.
Yeah.
Now you're that girl.
Yeah.
Now you're that girl. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. What does that come with and what does that mean? I was just so great. I was so grateful. I remember when I got the news about the Grammy nomination for Best Female Vocal Performance R&B for It Kills Me. I
that's
remember.
for the singers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the real.
Right?
Yeah, that means you can really sing.
That one meant so much because I thought about every person that was like, you don't need to sing like that. And I thought about like little me wanting to sing those Whitney Houston records. And I remember I was on a boat. I was in Miami with Teacher Moses. It was a radio show and we were doing this show and she was there and I was a huge fan of Teacher Moses at the time. So I met her for the first time and I got the nomination, the news about the nomination on the boat. And I just remember I went to the back of the boat where no one was and I just like cried and cried and cried. Just because I knew what I'd been through to get there, to fight for this voice, to fight for it, to really say, I'm just going to sing. I'm not going to do anything else but just sing. And to be recognized out the gate was just like, okay.
Out the gate is crazy.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Nominations. Wow.
Out the gate is crazy.
Out the gate. Yeah. It was a wild time.
Do you move yet? Because the money's getting now the money's getting
You've
different.
been at your parents' house for a long time, man.
Hey, you've been stacking for a long time.
Listen,
I hope your bills are paid off by now. You said you covered
debt
debt.
paid up.
So
Man,
now,
Who did you owe?
So
The Canadian mafia? Like what debts are you?
Yes, I'm now living in the States. I'm now living in LA. I'm here. I've arrived. First it was New York, and then I went to LA. Yeah. So we're here.
I remember I touched down in LA. And the reason I asked you about the difference in the records type of question is because my first single, I don't like saying the name of it, but
it just didn't do well. It didn't do well.
Yeah,
you got past it.
First freak, and I was like, you have this anticipation of what you think
it's going to be.
You're getting ready to be like, oh, I'm getting ready to take off, shoot the video. And it's like, it's not happening that way.
No.
And it's like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
It's
usually,
like,
how long is that? And you guys can give an outlook for artists between those two singles, between like that first and that second single. How long was it?
well, I was on the road for I don't know how long I was on the road for doing promo shows for the first single.
For the first single.
Like I'm
Until
talking
eventually
from
they said stop
summer,
performing that one, do the next one.
from summer to almost the winter,
Shit.
promoting, trying to get that song somewhere until I sang it at this school, and these girls was like, I was like, oh shit, this ain't the one.
Wow.
And we cut right at October, which was something you didn't do at those times.
Right.
You didn't come in the
Music didn't
fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter.
No, yeah.
Because the heavyweights
The
was coming at the
heavyweights
fourth quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we took a hard pivot in the fourth quarter. And he was like, listen, we're going to build as much as we can right now, and we're going to come back in
Top of
January
the year.
and
Yeah.
put the press on.
Mm.
And that's how
And
mine
that's when
went.
it happened. Yeah.
That's mine.
So for you, how long was that space between your first single and then It Kills Me?
I'm so bad with timelines, guys. I'll be honest. There's I know the album came out in November of 2009, and It Kills Me became a #1 record on the week of Christmas Eve. So we were working. Yes,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
working It Kills Me through that fall time.
I got you.
And I remember Sylvia Rohn, she said to me, she said, we go in #1, baby, because SRC was with Universal,
Universal
right?
at the time,
Universal
yeah.
Motown. So I was SRC Universal Motown artist. And she was like, we go in #1, baby. She said it. She's like, we go in #1. But so we were working Give It To Me Right from spring. Yeah, through summer. And then It Kills Me started in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it goes #1 after your album is out.
Yes.
Mm.
After the album's out.
So are you feeling like with the first record, are you feeling like you're questioning it? Or is it just like, okay, well maybe it's just a
No.
slow burn, it's building for me.
We knew that like Give It To Me Right was a great introduction record for me.
Okay. So it was
Like I
always
said,
that.
It was always that.
Okay.
We always wanted to lead with that for radio.
Because he thought his first record was the one. He thought it was.
Really?
He thought he was out
So
here. That's why I asked. In different artists,
We
they have
all-
a different.
we knew it.
We all thought.
We knew It Kills Me was the combo.
I was
Okay.
dancing.
Yeah. We
I was dancing. Had my shirt off. We was blowing up shit in the video. You know? There was a lot of belief in my early
Let me
Chris
tell you
Brown
something.
days.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? In Toronto, even though we didn't have no radio stations, we knew Tank. Okay?
But I don't think it was because of my
we
first
had
record.
seen, we were definitely on that Baby I Deserve, baby. We
Yeah,
were
you
there.
got-
We were
you-
there.
you was on the second.
one.
You-
Get right to the second one. Get right to It Kills Me. You know what I mean? Like,
Get right to It Kills Me. Get right to my
You
It
know
Kills
what I
Me.
mean? Like, come on. Get
But
there.
really, but surely, so that was really what it was. So we so we knew Give It To Me Right was going to be a
Was the
great
setup.
introduction
Okay.
record.
Love that.
You know, like I said, the Amy Winehouses, the Duffys, that sample, that sound,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually released my album overseas first. Yeah, we came back to the States and then released it. So the album was out internationally first. So I was in different markets. I was over there in Switzerland and in all these places and all of that. So then we came back to the States, and then It Kills Me was the one here for me.
Oh, so they treated you like a global artist from the beginning.
Yes, and that was intentional because I wasn't an American artist.
Mm-hmm.
I was an international artist.
Right.
And so it was, here is this girl who is a mix of Caribbean, Canadian, all these things of the diaspora and everything that she is and what her influences are and what this music is. This is world music.
Right.
So let's go to the world.
Right.
So we activated the UK labels of the Universals and we activated, Germany and Switzerland. And Monday Morning off of my first album is still to this day my biggest streaming record because of Europe. Monday Morning was my smash over there. It Kills Me. They're like, okay, cool. Monday Morning, come and do all the festivals, come and do all the radios, come and do all the shows, win all the awards. Like I used to be in Switzerland like 5 times a year.
That was definitely a flaw.
Yeah, that was a super
I used to
flex.
be in Switzerland.
I've never.
Me either, bro.
What?
They've never
I
called
got
me.
some watches.
Wait a
from
second.
my
No,
hood.
wait a second. Have you been to Switzerland though?
Never been invited. Never
Okay.
been.
Don't wait for the invitation. Just go. Just know that if I ever disappear off the planet, I'm like
going
Tina
there.
Turner. I'm in Switzerland.
I'm like,
I'm gone.
That's where it's at.
Oh, it is a perfect piece of the earth.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
it's a perfect piece of
It's
the
a
earth.
perfect piece of the earth. They live well. It's clean. There's delicious food. They're neutral like Canadians. I love it. It's very, very good.
They mind their
They
business.
mind their
Switzerland.
business. They're
They're
Switzerland.
I know what
Switzerland.
that
You could
means.
go see Montreux Jazz Festival if you want to. You can ride through the Swiss Alps and get to Italy. Like, please, drop me off in Switzerland forever. Yeah. So, Switzerland was a big market for me.
Y'all call me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Call
call
your
me.
boy.
I'm gonna come.
He won't blow anything up. He's not going to be dancing with his shirt off. Wait, no, he might be dancing with his shirt off. He loves to be with
Definitely
his shirt
gonna
off.
try that. But call me. I keep it clean, Switzerland.
That's so funny. It's very hard to get citizenship there. I've looked.
Really?
Yes, they don't give out citizenship easily at all. That's why they're a great country. They're just like, hold up, you got to earn your stripes in here.
I love that.
You gotta go over there and have
It's
a
really
couple. Just go have a couple babies. You'll let you in.
I'm sorry, sir. And I know his wife, so we're not going to do any of that today. No jokes will be made.
We'll
Go
talk
there.
in private. Jay. We'll talk.
Zena girl.
You know how many niggas I know
I
that
have
was in the military. They
I'm not
got
here anymore, Zena.
dual citizenship.
Zena, I'm not here anymore, girl. I'm not here.
I'm just trying to get all of us to Switzerland.
I'm not here, Zena.
If I got to be the sacrificial lamb,
It was a perfect piece of the earth.
if I got to sacrifice my body to get us
That's hilarious.
to get us to the perfect piece of the earth,
Not my
I'm
girl,
willing
not
to
my
do
friend, not my
Oh
friend.
my god.
But yeah, so again, like just the international story was the one.
That. So, let me ask you a question: Is that even now
No,
being
finish your question.
being that you established that international appeal so early?
Yeah.
Is that still a thing for you?
So it is in a streaming standpoint. Like I said, Monday morning is still my biggest thing, but I don't tour there as much as I would perform here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's also a different place and a different time, and I've changed and been through a lot differently, restructuring my business. But here is once It Kills Me became the record, then it was here.
Gotcha.
This is where
Okay.
the career then became established.
Gotcha.
Because this is where I am. This is where I'm living. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked that because I didn't really grow my roots internationally either. So for me, like even now, it's like that's the challenge for me.
Yeah.
Like I want to be over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
But-
watching Justin Timberlake do 80 shows
Yeah.
overseas,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I mean, I'll go with you
Yes.
if you need a friend.
If you
know,
need
what I'm saying? Like, and so I just being over there, you know what I mean, and just being over there for different reasons, maybe vacation and just hanging out and just seeing those spaces and venues. I'm like, man, I want to perform out here.
But
Like,
you could. You could. And I think that that's the thing that we forget. Like, it all depends on how you want to perform. You can get.
I just
you
want to
could-
perform.
You just
You
gotta
could-
go for the love.
You could just take this.
I mean that's really what
And
that's really what the terms of it is.
And that's
that-
my thing too. I'm
But-
like, I'll go.
Everything is build it. Build it.
But
Just
a lot
like,
of times when it comes to promoters,
Mhm.
They'll look past you because they see a certain level of equity, or they see a certain cost
Yeah.
that's normally involved with an artist, so they'll just skip over it. Period.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too expensive of a conversation. I'm like, don't skip me. Call me.
Don't skip me. Call me.
Call me.
But you know
We'll
what?
figure it out.
But you know what? You could do it yourself.
Yeah.
You can.
Like, he's gonna pop up at one of them little
you just gotta
weed,
like,
weed store.
At the pub.
They
No,
got
like
Tank
for
at-
example,
Tank at Wilkinson's pub.
you've done it.
This evening.
You've done the London. You've done the UK.
I've done UK.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like Jazz Cafe,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
There are lots of venues that are across Europe in different places where you can go and do that, and you could call them up yourself. You could just be like, yo, I'm gonna be traveling with my family. I'm gonna pop up and do a show. And we have the internet now. So this is even the other thing is that like streaming and the internet, which is even a crazier conversation, y'all, because when I put these albums out, The Bridge and the MF Live, my second project, there was no streaming. I was putting out music.
We know that conversation.
Right? Right? So like it's crazy to me now to even think. That's why I'm like, oh, it's only up from here.
Yeah.
Because now I have reach with streaming for new music. So I'm not, back then it was the machine working for you. It was a budget.
For sure.
It was the budgets, it was like flying you out and tapping in and marketing and marketing and marketing. So, there were certain things, but now you can design the show. And it like, how amazing would it be to be Tank one-on-one? And it's just you talking to your fans that have never seen you, hearing you tell these stories on the piano, because you can do that. Not everybody can. You can do that. Fans would love it.
That'd be great.
Right?
So take me out of this first album. Everything is you're on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You're going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
And then we have to go back and make the second album.
Mm-hmm.
The Sophomore.
The
Curse. Because everybody always calls it The Curse.
Did you feel that way?
I didn't, but I did feel a pressure to continue to maintain, right? Like a level of excellence or respect.
Yeah.
And then the second album, I was so hands-on with, because I wanted it to evolve from what The Bridge was. The Bridge was very retro soul. It had a lot of like classic samples and live instrumentation. And then this second album came along and it was like, okay, what do we transition to? And that is when Steve Rifkin said, I want you to go work with Rico Love. And I was like, Rico Love? I was like, me? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know if I fit with Rico. Like, Rico's making this really cool kind of R&B right now. Like, I don't really do that. Like, I don't know. He's like, you should go. And I went to Rico, and he had 2 records that he had created, Mr. Wrong and 4 a.m.
Come on now, talk about it.
Mr. Wrong went to Mary J. Blige, and I went with 4 a.m. And I remember being in the studio with him, working on that song, recording that song, hearing auto-tune on my voice for the first time, being like, ooh, this is like, I don't know if this is really me, you know? And then I was listening back to the song because it was what was happening in music. Like Kelly Rowland had just put out Motivation. There was this kind of like vibey R&B that was happening. I was like, I'm coming off of Singing It Kills Me. Like, does this feel like too far of a departure? And the more I listened to it, and I was like, you have to be open to grow. Like, you have to be willing to try. It doesn't mean that the whole album needs to sound like this, but this is a hit record. Like, you've got to be willing to go with it. And then I started singing it live. And then after I was like, oh no, this is a song. Like, you're singing, you're still singing. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And I was, like I said, I was a little concerned at first because the sonic was so different. But that wasn't the first single that came out either off that project. The first single that came out off that project was called Gone and Never Coming Back, who was also produced by the same producer that did It Kills Me.
Okay.
Jay Phoenix.
Okay.
And I did it with Andrea Martin again. So it was another big ballad. So it kind of bridged the gap of like where we were going. And then 4 a.m. came, and then it was like, boom. And it was like, oh, here's an evolution. And what a great decision. What a great call from Steve and the label and my team, like, to go out there. And Rico, just what a beast.
It's Rico. Come on.
It's Rico.
It's Rico.
Yeah, it's easy. It's very easy for him.
I mean, talk about
dial up. Yeah, his dial up is crazy.
So good. And you know what's crazy? What I love learning about Rico after is that Rico started rapping.
Yes.
And I truly believe that rappers make incredible songwriters.
What'd you say?
Rappers make incredible songwriters.
I like that you said that.
They absolutely do.
He thinks he's a rapper.
No, I was a rapper. MC Hurricane.
Listen, I ain't mad at it. That's why
he hates on it all the time.
I don't
rappers
hate on it. I just don't. I don't cheerlead for unsuccessful things.
Oh, no participation
I'm
awards
not
for you.
that friend. No, hell no. In my house, I wish my kids would be talking about. So, Dad, you know we got third place. You got what?
I don't champion.
You better go do
things that
some
are unsuccessful.
push-ups.
Oh my gosh. What did I say about your dynamic, the Capricorn Cancer dynamic?
That was fucked up.
That was very, very. Listen, you got to start somewhere.
That's a way
There
to
would
look
be
at
no
it.
Tank if there was no MC Hurricane, okay? He wasn't blowing shit up and dancing, okay? It wouldn't be happening.
No, but see, listen, you're talking about things that led to success, the dancing and blowing shit up. No, we're talking about this childhood thing that he had going
I was
on.
a
Where he
rapper
was rapping
all
in his
through high
neighborhood.
school. Even out of high school,
He
I
was a
still
neighborhood rapper.
Okay, so
I was a hood rapper.
my question is for you now, sir.
Yeah.
Were you always like, could you sing?
Could always sing.
Yes.
But you chose to be a rapper.
No, I just could rap too. So I would rap and
But
sing
could
the
you-
hooks. I could rap. I was a good rapper. But
I defer to your.
I don't
but
know.
in church they weren't
It
rapping.
didn't work.
So in church I didn't get to use my raps. I would always be singing. So when the people plucked me out of the church, they didn't care about no rapping.
They saved
It's like
his life.
you singing.
They
They saved his life.
I was the first Drake. I was first.
Born on the first.
Born on the first.
Born
Come
on
on
the
now.
answer that.
Bars like Dove.
You see what I'm saying?
Bars like Dove. I
I was
know.
doing all that. They was, and they haven't seen all of me yet.
They didn't see the hurricane coming.
Is the point? The hurricane is on the way.
Take shelter.
It has made an appearance on a few albums,
All
and
right.
I've gotten some good respect for those bars.
Listen, I be rapping too.
I be rapping on my
I be
albums.
rapping. Felony Miona, she be out here. Shout out to Wale. He gave me that name.
You understand?
I rap on stage. Like I
Can we felony?
Felony Miona.
Felony Miona. I
Wale-
love that.
Wale-
I champion that.
Wale. Shout out to Wale. He called me that because one day we were talking. Because I love hip hop. Like I love hip hop.
Y'all wildin'.
And so
Yeah,
one day we were there and I was rapping and he was like, I was rapping to something. I wasn't freestyling. And he was just like, okay, Fel. I ran up on him. He's like, okay, Felony. Okay, calm down, Felony. And that was it. Felony Miona became the name. So now she pops out on stage.
And you had Luke James in that video.
Luke James,
guy.
shout outs
My
to
guy.
Luke and Q,
Yeah.
who I met at the Underdogs.
Underdogs.
And that is
Yeah.
how long I've known Luke.
That's,
And we've watched each other through
Yeah.
that. So when that video came out, I was like, hey, I need you to come up in here, please. And he came and we did the video for 4 a.m. And it was great. You know, working
It's
with
so
a friend.
funny though that you came through there at that point. We didn't meet her.
I never met her.
Yeah. I wrote my
Luke
turn.
and Q
I
used
wrote
to-
my turn.
Luke and Q used to live with me.
Wow.
Yeah, Luke and Q lived with Tank. I wrote my turn.
Yep.
Like it was.
Listen,
It's
as
so
I-
crazy.
As I
Yeah.
said at the beginning of this conversation, nothing before its time.
yeah.
We were
Yeah.
supposed to meet in different ways.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so that is wild though. That is wild. That's a wild time.
So 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Great record, by the way.
Thank you.
I was listening to it on the way here, and I was like, "Yeah, I was at the strip club."
You sure were. Why was your ass not home? Is the question.
Because men need room to be men.
To be men, mm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like
You gonna get a song written about you?
I thought, kills me. It kills me, and 4 a.m. Yes,
Yes.
are two ends of the spectrum, right?
Sonically, yes.
And sonically, and there's this sexier, vibier moment
Mm-hmm.
in this 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
As a performer,
Mm-hmm.
are you sharing it differently than, of course, the "it kills me" moment?
So yeah, so you know, it's funny when I do 4 a.m. the lights are always red.
Yeah.
The lights are always red,
Mhm.
and I literally perform it like anybody knows. They come to the show, I drop it slow, all the way down. Yeah, you got to drop it slow, and I perform the song down low when I start, and then by the end of the song, I'm up. But yeah, it's conversational. It should feel like a moment because when that synth comes in, it's like, it's like it just sets everything every time. It just feels like everything just settled down, and then turn the lights on, boom. Sitting there feeling kind of crazy. It becomes a conversation. Now I'm in my bedroom.
Yeah.
So it gave me a little bit more creative expression.
Yeah.
And I was really grateful for that. But also still talking about that shit.
Yes.
Because that's what people loved about It Kills Me. You know, and people were shocked to hear me say like, "'Cause I wanna have his babies on It Kills
Yeah.
Me." You know, but that again, kudos to Andrea Martin. Give people something. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, where are you? Like, what? say the thing sometimes. You got to just say the thing, you know?
Damn right.
And if you say it with enough passion, people feel you. They really feel you. So, you know, with 4 a.m., people are like, oh man, girl. But I had a dude in my life at that time that was just never always in the club. And I was like, why would you be in the club when I am here? Why would you do that?
I can't answer for him because I'm not him, so I can't answer.
Yeah.
You want to answer? Why?
I mean,
Oh, we got all the answers we needed. You know?
Okay, all right.
We got all the answers we needed.
it's the meeting
But you know,
place.
but it's the meeting with they got good wings, you know. But yeah,
They got great
It's great.
wings.
You're hungry, you know. You got a meal after the studio. It's just, but you know, but again, like 4 a.m. It was saying the things, and then on that album as well, the MF Life. You know, I got to share a little bit more. I did collaborations with J. Cole and B.O.B., John Legend. You know, we did a one-off with Snoop. Like, there were Nas was on that record. So this album, the MF Life, like the bridge was about here I am, no features, a voice, and some classic songs. And then the MF Life was more about me as Melanie Fiona, more of the sides of me, more of that hip-hop side, you know, more playful, more spectrum. And I love the MF Life so much. Like that album, like The Bridge is a special album, will always be because it's my first project. But the MF Life for me brings me to tears when I listen to it because I feel very proud.
Yeah.
I feel very proud of my contributions on that album. I feel very, very proud about the collaborations and feeling like that was a really good representation of me in that time. You know, so I love that album. And then Wrong Side of a Love Song, which is like that's my next big vocal performance. Yeah.
It sounds like all good shit to me.
It's all good, even the bad.
So where does let me collect myself and figure me out come into play?
After the MF Life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I lost my voice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I couldn't sing.
Literally.
Literally lost my voice, couldn't sing.
For how long?
It was like 6 months of struggle. Yeah.
What do you think caused that?
Heartbreak. Trapped energy. Lack of connection to God, spirituality. Just going. Not saying no. Getting caught up in negative energy and attention, not being mindful of who I'm hanging around with or what I'm doing.
And it cost you your voice.
Oh, it cost me my voice. Yeah, it cost me my voice. And it was completely energetic. There was nothing wrong with my vocal cords. I went to see several specialists because I couldn't, all of a sudden, I put out the MF Life. I'm on tour. I toured with Alicia Keys after that was my next tour in between The Bridge and the MF Life. I toured with Alicia, did a world tour with her. That was amazing. And I was doing good, but that started to show the importance of care, that tour. I came off of that tour and I was very thin and I was very edgy, like on edge. Like I was like angry a lot. Like I just had my fuse, my patience. I didn't have, I was like really on edge. And I started exploring holistic treatments and that I changed my diet. I saw this iridologist who reads the irises of your eyes. And he was like, what do you do for a living? And I was like, I'm a singer. I'm a recording artist. I just came off tour. He's like, well, if you want to do it for a long time, you're going to have to make certain changes for your diet and your lifestyle. So then I became strictly vegetarian. And I changed my diet and this really like started my path to taking care of myself. So then now in 2012, the MF Life comes out and I'm off the back of a really rough breakup. I've moved cities. I'm living in New York now. I'm finding my way. And all of a sudden I can't sing. I can't sing. It kills me. Wrong Side of Love Song, all these songs that require vocals. I'm having a hard time. 30 minutes, my voice is tapped. So I start going to all these specialists and they're like, there's nothing wrong with your vocal cords. You don't have any nodules. You don't have any swelling, no bruising. No. And it was one doctor in Toronto and one doctor in New York. And the one doctor in Toronto asked me, he said, what kind of a year have you had? I just started crying. He was like, I think what's happening with you is energetic. And he told me a story about a man that he was seeing who had this like incessant cough. It wouldn't go away, like persistent. It just was constantly clearing his throat. And he was seeing this man for like months. And then he finally asked him, he was like, is there anything that happened to you? And he's like, oh, my wife and my daughter died in a car accident. And so this man was just choked up from the pain and the grief. And that was the first time I realized that we can store trauma in our bodies like that.
Yeah.
And so from the breakup and the going and the just nonstop traveling and wear and tear on my body, God was like, girl, you're not aligned with the singing nurse anymore. You're just going. And so the doctor in New York said, I would really like for you to go for some Eastern medicine. And he said, I'd like for you to go for some acupuncture, and I would like for you to go for some energy healing, Reiki. And I was like, but at this point I was
He's ready desperate. To try whatever. Yeah.
I was desperate. I Essence Fest, all these things I'm doing course. And he's like, yeah, go. So I went 3 sessions. Oh, and then I got the call to go on tour with Mary J. Blige and D'Angelo. And I was like,
your tour
life
your tour
crazy.
Resume is insane.
It's been
wow.
It's been a great. I've been on some amazing tours. But at that time, I was so terrified because my voice wasn't great, but I wasn't going to say no. I had to go. So I went, and within 3 sessions, my voice was back. 3 sessions of energy healing. And the energy healing was deep. It was deep work. It was ugly. It was real. And I think that, I have my own beliefs and my own practices and my own healing. And everybody is supposed to find their own, right? Because I'm not here to tell anybody, oh, this is what you need.
Right.
But I will say, as somebody who went into it being like, I just have to be open because I recognize that it was a greater calling that was happening. Like I was being corrected. I was being redirected because the trajectory that I was going on, God was letting me know, you're not staying light. You're not staying in the light. You're not staying in the light. You're allowing this heartbreak and you're allowing this season of, go and demand to take you off. And I'm going to stop you in your tracks. And I'm going to take away the thing that is so valuable to you right now to get your attention. Where are you when it comes to me? How often am I a part of what you're doing? How often are you being responsible for the words, the places, the people, all the things? Like, do you recognize that you've been given this? So you have to protect it. It's your job. So I had to really straighten up and get myself together and be like, okay, it's about preservation of peace. And it was about healing. And then after I had those sessions, I had physical reactions when I was having my energy healings. Like, I can't describe it. Full coughing, crying, releasing. It was like spiritual therapy. That's the only way I can put it. And it healed me. And I was able to go on tour for 6 weeks, 3 to 4 shows a week, and never have a problem with my voice again. And so then became okay, this is who you need to continue to be and protect and stay grounded in. And so that's when I call it the awakening happened. And then when the awakening happened, I then went independent. I then started to refocus. I started to make an album that then never came out. I had to go through some professional readjustments. I had to have a child. I had to be in a loving relationship. I got to, let me say, not I have to.
Yeah.
I got to. I got to, and that's where this time is. That's where the time goes. And I think that, like I said, to bring it back to the beginning, is like, we think in just time. It's like, yes, I do. Trust me, the gift of time is not lost on me at all. But do I feel like I wasted any time?
Right.
No. No. I absolutely feel like the time that I took was the time that needed to be taken.
Yeah.
To build the experiences, to build the family, to heal, to understand what was standing in my way, who was standing in my way, clear spaces for me to create the life I want to have, which I keep calling Act 2. Like, I feel like this is my Act 2. When I think about the journey, when I think about what it feels like to climb the mountain and you just go through all the things, it's so hard. And then people are like, okay, so you did it. Now you're at the top of the mountain. And we think, now we got to go back down. I got to the top of the mountain. And I feel like there's a rocket ship waiting here now.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, can we go to the stars? Yeah. Let's go. Gas the PJ up, the one that goes to the stratospheres. Let's go. Yeah. You know, I feel healthy and I feel healed and I feel happy and I feel so grateful and experienced and seasoned in well-rounded in all areas of my life that I'm excited for everything I'm going to create moving forward.
Yeah.
Jewelry, music.
I'll say that you know, obviously I met you through Tank and his family. But every time I interacted with you, even just seeing you, speaking to you, I just always felt like she's good. Like you know what I mean? And in this music business, that's tough at times for a lot to see people, especially people who aren't constantly doing it, right? Aren't part of this, as I call it, the hamster wheel at times, right? Within that, you're like, okay, well, the success maybe is masking whatever else. So it's just like, yeah, they always seem up. But every time I always saw you, I was just like, she seemed good. She seemed really cool. Family's cool. She got a life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is from someone on the outside of any of that, right? Because like I said, I know you through. But in every interaction, I'm like, oh, she's cool. Like, her life is good. And I'm probably sure you can say that. I've never asked you about music. Ever.
No.
I never asked you, oh, when you gonna drop this? I'll just be like, hey, how you doing?
Yep.
Good to see you, blah, 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 your family. Because that was never a thing to me, to be like, you know, to have industry conversation or to, why you ain't putting out the music? And why you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you just seemed like life was good. It was going well for you in whatever your endeavors were.
You know, thank you for saying that, because we know you don't celebrate mediocrity. So, you know, being good, being good in his books means something. You know, I learned that today. You know, so but that is a compliment. Like I do feel like it's a great compliment for people to be like, she's good.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean it as
because we see people too often. We're just like,
good.
are you all right?
Yeah, they're
not good without this.
Yeah.
Can't find their way
and
without
not
it.
good within it.
Yeah.
And not good within it.
Yeah.
And
both.
Not good within it. And I will say this, like, everything that I've gone through publicly, privately, when it comes to the hardest times, like losing my voice or experiencing, you know, shifting and letting it all go to build back up and all of it, you know, somehow I'm still here.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, you know, like, everything is important. Like, everything that happened is important. And these songs from the beginning, from 10, 12 years ago, they've carried me through.
They will do that.
I've still worked.
Yeah.
I've still had people come and pay tickets to come see me when I didn't have a number one record at radio. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
you got some real records.
You got jams though.
Because we talked about those two too, though. But like, then you got Fool for You too.
Yeah.
Like,
then we got the Grammys. We didn't even talk about the Grammys.
You got
listen. I'm not gonna let you get out of here without talking
got...
When I tell you that's my shit.
Yeah.
That record, because it, to me, there's a moment in time that there were times that I see things where I'm like, damn, I wish I could have lived at that time. And when you hear certain throwback records, because that's a throwback record. Like, you guys did it obviously later on, but that's really a throwback record. The way it comes on, the way y'all singing, it just puts you in a space. And for me, I can be riding, and if that song comes on, when I tell you I'm going all the way up on the dial, I'm talking about as loud as it can go. You know what I mean? Because that song is that special, in my opinion. It's a really well-written record, and y'all singing y'all ass off.
I appreciate it.
Y'all, you and CeeLo singing y'all ass off.
That
on
one,
there.
that one is just, that's magic. That
Yeah.
run right there, that one was like magic from the moment it happened. And I didn't know how far, like we never shot a music video for that. It was the #1 record. In fact, I still don't get, I got to get my plaque for
Get your
that.
plaque.
Got to get my
Get
plaque
your
for that.
plaque.
That I still don't have my plaque for that. That was a #1 record with no push. I never did a radio promo
That's
with him.
crazy.
We never did any. That song was just off of the strength of that magic. We performed that song twice live together. Ever.
Oh shit.
Ever.
So you didn't go on tour with CeeLo?
Never went on tour with CeeLo. Nope. That's one tour I didn't do. No, we never went on tour. And that, again, like a testament to the music, to just fighting for what you think is important, fighting for the voice. Shout out to the 4-year-old self.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to everybody around me that protected that goal and that objective and didn't try to objectify. It was really, it's really important. It's sustained me through this, and it gave me space again to really ask myself, like, what do I want my life to look like? So, the songs, it's a testament to the songs and a testament to the self-work that I think I was very focused on, and now that I'm back, now that it's like good, I'm putting out new music again. It's like, it feels so good because, again, to what you said, like, we can't have Melanie Fiona taking no more breaks. Like, It Kills Me went platinum 2 years ago. It Kills Me came out in 2009 and it went platinum 2 years ago. Why would a song that came out in 2009 all of a sudden just go platinum? Because now we have streaming and now people are they're rediscovering it.
It was definitely platinum in my hood.
Listen,
like we was listening
that part,
to it. You know
that
what I mean?
part,
I'm like,
that
this record
part,
cracking.
that part, but that to me was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Still.
So when people ask me like, wow, like, you're doing music. Yeah. Like, I got gas in my tank.
Yeah.
I got gas.
Yeah.
I got emotional, spiritual, like love gas in my tank now. Like, I feel like I can keep going. Like, I have more to give. I never did. Like, there were times when I was like, I don't know if I have it, guys. Like, if I'm keeping it a buck, there was a time when I was really repositioning some things in my life. And this was after I had my son, when it had to get real. And I had to be like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
What'd you think about doing?
Just anything else.
Like, did you, because everybody has a thing, right? That maybe we deferred from as, this entertainment thing happened for us.
So I would have probably gone into therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see you in therapy.
Yeah.
I see that.
I wanted to be a social worker, a therapist, and my guidance counselor in
The singing nurse.
Yeah.
It's
Singing
still-
nurse.
yeah,
It's
been there.
it's been there the whole
Right.
time, like I really think, like, I just really, there was a time when I was like, I don't know if I'm made for the music industry. The industry it's a business.
Yes.
It's a business. And when the art and the business, they don't always, we talked about this off air, like the art and the business don't always, like, your soul, you got to be real strong and real supported in order to not lose yourself in there. And so again, at that time, like, I was blessed enough to have a husband. Well, he wasn't we weren't married at the time, but I had a partner. I had a son. I had created a life for myself. So I saw there was another thing that I could do, I didn't necessarily know what it was, but there was a time when I definitely was like, I don't know if I want to keep going. And then I paused and then I went back and God and all of that. And I was like, no, you just don't need to keep doing it like that.
Right. Right. The pivot.
The pivot. Just do it differently. And so that's where the dismantling came along. And then I had to shift and then just go solo dolo and lose myself and find myself and yeah.
And get back.
And get back.
Yeah. What would you do if you didn't do this?
It'll be a combination of church and military.
Huh. They're not going to let you join the military at this point.
I was going to the military.
I'm saying at this point, though, they're like,
I'm a
it's
little
too late
older.
for you.
I'm a little older, but
we just can't make you a general right now.
We can't make you a general. Right?
I feel like there's room. They need bodies.
A general doctorate?
Yeah, something. They're going to let me in
They
there.
need bodies.
Every time I see one of them movies, like Zero Dark 30 and all them movies, I'm like, that's me. I'm watching Top Gun, like,
Oh my gosh.
because I was going into I was going into the military to fly fighter jets.
Wow.
Once I took my sight test, they was like, "How do you feel about flying fighter jets?" I was like, "Yes,
Riveting.
absolutely." And fighter jets were like my thing, so like I wanted to, fly an Aviate Harrier or an A-16, you know what I'm saying, or F-14 or F-16 or F-18, like, you know what I'm saying, like or stealth. I wanted to do all of that stuff. Like that was my thing.
You know what's amazing is that I can see your childhood self.
Oh no, I used to
lit.
buy them
He's
for
lit
sure.
up.
I used to buy the model planes and make them and build them, the fighter jets, all that.
Okay,
Like, that
so
was,
how are you still feeding that side of yourself?
I'm not, because I'm like an all in kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm all in something, I'm the wrong person to be all in because I have the resources to do it all the way. And it's going to take all of my attention. It's going to take, like the guy at the basketball court with the full Michael Jordan suit on, shoes, socks, and everything.
That's you.
That's me.
That's you.
I have
Warm-up
the
suit. You got
resources
it.
to go. I have a trainer there with me training before I play pickup basketball. Like, I'm that guy.
Hilarious.
You don't want me. Keep me here.
Yes.
Because I'm going to do too
Because I'm
much.
going to do too much. But,
Next time you call me, I'm going to be in Switzerland.
but you know, I'm in Switzerland in the fighter jet.
Switzerland in
It's
a
like I
fighter
joined
jet
the
is
Swiss
wild.
Army.
Yeah, I joined the Swiss Army. They had room. They had space
Had
for
room.
We don't
me.
really fight anyone.
No
but-
age requirements.
No way.
It's just really for the air show. We do tricks and things for the kids. It's really really good gig.
That's good. That's a good impression. I like it.
That is great, bro.
But
That's
I would, church.
But
and-
here's the thing: is that like God spare life. Life is long.
yeah.
So like, let me find out. I'm gonna come find you at like 86, and you'll be at home making these model planes. You're just gonna
There's
be
something.
happy.
I will be happy. I
You'll
promise
be,
you. I will.
just don't forget that. And I think that's the things like. Don't like let us not forget all the things that we're passionate about.
Yes.
It's great to be all in. Like
Yeah.
it's great to be all in. But there are like we're so complex as humans and like what makes us important and we can't lose sight. And then the music industry too in general, like it's an industry that you do feel like you've got to be all in all the time. I mean, my husband, like he's a manager to some of the biggest artists in the world right now. So like I see it right now. It's like, did you take a lunch today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I can't take a lunch. I was like, of course you can take a lunch.
Of course you can take
Yeah,
it.
you can
Of
always
course
take
you can take. I could take a lunch meeting. No, you
lunch.
could take a lunch.
You can take.
I can
You
take
can
a
take a
lunch.
lunch. And I think that like that, shifting that. A friend of mine once said this to me. She said, "At what point do you define success that you've earned the right to say, I'm not going to do that."
I think it depends on what you look at as success.
Correct.
Everyone looks at it differently.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Everybody looks at what success is or what it's supposed to be.
Correct.
And you have to be happy with it.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's something that I think when we started to work with each other from the management artist side of it, where I had to have conversations with him of where he saw himself or where he wanted to be musically and where he saw his star. Because at one point, he had this thing where he was like, I'm underrated. I'm like, actually, you cracking, bro. You tank. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we knew you in Canada. You know what I mean? But it's what your perception of that success is. Or someone said something they sent something on I read something even to me about, it ain't what you do ain't appreciated. I'm like, yes, it is. I actually have a really great life. I'm really happy with my life.
Yep.
And I'm happy with the accolades that I've attained over my life. So that may be what you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, more people should know. I'm like, well, the people that know. I'm happy with those people. And I like going to the mall and not being bothered.
Listen.
You know what I mean? So you have to figure out what works for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of people just look at other people's success and say, hey, that's what I want.
That's exactly it.
You know what I mean?
That's
Other than
exactly
it
it.
being like,
What's your version
What
of it?
is your version of success?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, I think in this business, we were speaking earlier even about just in social media of reading, looking at social media and looking at other people's lives and what Instagram can do to you mentally if you let it.
Yep.
And I think for more people, and I hope that they would just look at like, what were the goals and the things that I personally set out for in the beginning. My goals were, I want to make legal money. It's literally, it was that simple for me because everyone I knew had made illegal money and end up going to jail.
Right.
And I like to take more than one shower, so I can't go to jail. So I'm not just going to do no legal shit because I'm definitely not no snitch, so I ain't going to tell. I ain't going to take no plea. So for me, I'm like, I got to do all legal shit so I can live the cool life I want to live. And that is success to me.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think more artists and more business people, period, in all of this should look at it like, okay, what is it that I set out for and what do I look at as success?
Absolutely.
And if we always maintain a concept of or an idea of where we were.
Oh, shit.
Of where it started.
Perspective.
Like,
go back and look at them old pictures.
Come on, man.
Look at the outfits.
I remember my mama's unfinished basement with my Mackie board sitting on a dresser, double tier stand, an MP and an XP80, trying to figure it out.
Right.
Trying to figure it out. And now I've never had to do anything else but music.
What a gift.
Since I started doing it. And if this is work,
bring it on.
What?
Right?
Right. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Right?
This is work?
Yeah.
You sure? All right. And time. Owning that time and saying, I got to go to the gym. I'll call y'all in a minute.
Right.
Or, at 10 o'clock when that phone goes off, the phone is actually off. Like it's powered down.
Do you take vacations like where you are unplugged?
I do now. I didn't.
Yes.
Courtesy of Zena, who took me on my first unplug. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course. Because as somebody who's all in.
I said, what are we going to do for 5 days? I know the first 2 days are going to be really fun. That third day.
Hey, listen. You can keep all those questions on that side. Vacation is bullshit to me. So, just stay there. Just stay there.
It's me.
It's him. No, just stay there.
Okay. I have so many questions.
The subscribers know. They know. Jay don't like vacations.
And
we have to talk about
through her.
No, we don't.
We're gonna unpack.
He's not. There are no bags there.
I
promise.
There's no unpacking.
There are no bags
and
there.
figuratively.
I know
We're not going on vacation.
I know what I like.
Yeah.
I know what I like.
I didn't even know what it was. 2 days in Vegas, I'm good. Couple days, a day and a half in Miami, straight. That was vacay for me.
Good times.
Wow.
Back to work. But, putting that time into her, into the kids, and even for myself for that matter, it's helped me understand, whereas maybe I might have felt underrated in a space or felt unsuccessful in a space. Like those moments make me feel rated and successful. Like I'm like, where are we at again? Okay. Yeah, okay, and we chilling. We ain't gotta rush. Oh, okay,
We ain't gotta rush.
We ain't gotta rush. Like what I'm saying. We ain't running no play to. We're not robbing Peter to pay Paul to do all this. Like this is. I was like, okay. So I just learned to enjoy it a little bit more, and being able to enjoy time was the piece of success that I think was missing for me. That once I found that, then I was like, I'm super successful.
I love it
because I'm enjoying. I'm having the time of my life as we speak.
Yes, every day.
I'm having a ball.
Good. Yes.
And I won't let nothing or nobody interrupt that. It can't. It's mine. Belongs to me.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
I love this.
See, you're doing your therapy thing on us.
You don't. We don't have to get deep, but I do want to. What is it? Okay, so vacation in the concept, in actual, like really going on vacation. What is it about vacation? Does the word aggravate you? Like, what is it? Okay,
doesn't aggravate me at all.
And what do you define as a vacation?
Anything where I have to, like you said, unplug. I don't like unplugging.
Okay.
I don't like unplugging.
So you like to stay busy all the time?
Not staying busy.
Okay.
But unplugging, literally, where it's just like, oh, we're remote somewhere and the phones don't really work and you can't get to the shit that you need to get to. I'm cool off that. So
do you like, okay, so as far as vacation, like, do you not like to travel?
No, I don't like to travel either, though. Okay.
Mm-mm. So it's okay, so you don't like to travel and you don't like to be outside of your comfort zone? Like,
no,
does vacation take you?
Not even about a comfort zone. Because everywhere I've been on vacation is really, really fucking nice and really comfortable.
Okay,
and,
right.
You know, I'm not staying at the Motel 6.
Right.
You know, even though, hey, Motel 6, if you guys want to support us and somehow I'll promote you. Yeah, we'll take it.
Maybe there's a Siren.
Yeah,
we'll stay there. We'll stay there.
We'll stay
that
there.
In there for me.
But no. So like, it's not like I'm moving in any spaces that are uncomfortable or it's like so different from what my daily life is in that space. I've just created a really happy space and life in my home. Mm-hmm. I like my home. Mm-hmm. I like to be there.
He's a Cancer.
I like to enjoy that house.
He's a Cancer.
And
that's a Cancer?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. And you know, it's that for me, it's taking me away from that. I don't really see, you know, what the benefit of that is to me personally.
Well, I love that for you. Mm-hmm. I really do love that for you because home should be our sanctuary. Like we should never feel like we have to escape home.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, but it is nice to take home sometimes somewhere else, like near the ocean.
They got this place called Malibu.
I know, but that's not the same.
And then you drive up the 101 and you can get to the bay. And you can look at the ocean the whole way there. You go through Santa Barbara. You been to Montecito?
I'm talking about.
Have you been to Montecito? You probably been to Santa Barbara, but have you been to Montecito?
I've been to Montecito.
I don't think you have.
Somebody had a wedding out there, and I went to Montecito.
You went for about 30 minutes.
That's fine, but I went.
I went on a little mini vacation there.
I'm talking about clear water. See your feet.
See your feet.
White sand.
You know what's in that
pink
ocean?
Sand.
You know what's in that ocean?
At least you can see it.
You know what they told me when I was in Turks?
Listen, that ocean.
Take your jewelry off, brother.
Oh, yeah.
They will sting you. I said, you know what? I'm going to sit on this beach then.
I've never been stung.
You took your jewelry off though, did you?
I don't take jewelry on vacation.
Okay. Well, I'm like Drake. I wear my jewelry in the house.
I wear every single chain, even when I'm in the house. I definitely wear all my jewelry in the ocean. I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on, before we let you go, we said Grammys. We said Grammys.
We said Grammys.
So can we just let's just touch on it? Just give me your award, your Grammy award winning.
I am.
Yeah.
So like
you got the statue.
I got 2 statues.
Yeah.
I got 2 statues.
Yeah. And why do you give me the category?
2 times.
Why do you have these 2 statues?
I've got 2 statues, one for best R&B song and then one for best for the songwriting. So it's best traditional R&B song and then one for the songwriter. So for Feel For You with CeeLo Green.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
That was a big moment. It's crazy because that happened right in the season right before I started losing my voice.
Wow.
So again, it's like life is just a lot of duality and a lot of a lot of things, but an incredible time. My son, he's so funny because now we watch the Grammys at home and like he understands now. He'd be like, oh, like this thing is what you got. Oh, okay, cool. So it's cool. It's a good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. That's dope.
Thank you.
They're gonna give me one day.
Yeah, you are. But you're gonna do that one-on-one tour in Europe.
Give me certificates and give me an actual trophy.
I actually had a conversation with Harvey about that the other day.
Yeah, what'd he say?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, this, because Amari's album is up for a nomination for a Grammy. Mm-hmm. I'm singing on it, you singing on it. I'm like, yeah, so how that work, player?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay, you ain't gonna win a Grammy. I was like, all right, cool. All right, fuck it.
I'm not gonna get a trophy?
No. No.
There's this other Like,
Nope.
I think another conversation that, is a conversation that, we'll maybe get a round table to have.
Mm-hmm.
But how does an AI song fit into a Song of the Year category with actual singers?
Is that happening this year?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
We
We'll
will
talk.
have-
We'll talk.
We will have a round table.
That table is going to be round, square, triangle, because the way my head just exploded, I don't know what to say about that. Okay.
A thing is happening.
Okay.
That, it's going to be great to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
The future.
more about you.
More about me. Oh, no, he's playing.
Yeah. We here.
Melanie, you've come all the way from Canada to bless us with your gifts as a singing nurse. Sounded weird at first, but now I got it. My mind just plays tricks on me. Sister Siren, amen. We will not search.
Yes, you will.
Don't do it.
But now the people want to know the music that has touched you, that have influenced you to become the artist and singer and entrepreneur that you are. We call that your
What we call it?
top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Your top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5. Your top 5 R&B singers, R&B songs. We've got to know before you go here on this show. Let everybody know your top 5. Yes.
Yeah.
Right now, the top 5. Your top 5.
Woo! Such a chocolate. That boy good. That was incredible. I couldn't even have imagined it would have been that great in person.
See what happened when you start rapping?
Wow. Okay.
I'm not even gonna.
That was
identify
amazing.
that. Your top 5 R&B singers.
Top 5 R&B singers.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Sam Cooke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music Soul Child.
I love Music Soul Child. I love Music Soul Child.
Music Soul Child. Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Whitney Houston. And Lauryn Hill.
Yes.
It's a great list.
Yes.
And Lauryn Hill.
Yes. It's
Great
like
list.
high level vocals, vibey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Singing with a purpose.
Yeah.
I'm following you.
Yeah, but wait.
Oh,
I
shit.
really,
Top
I said was top 6.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I said it was hard because Whitney in my mind, Whitney, she's kind of in a category of her own,
She is.
right? Like
She is
it's
godly.
like pop,
She's godly.
when you say singers, now when you say like artists, it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Because truly in my top 5 artists, I'm going to put Brandy in there. Because
Brandy.
Brandy.
Because it's Brandy.
Brandy vocally
Special.
is one of my favorite artists.
Well, what is the thing they put when you got in America? What kind of
An alien of extraordinary ability.
That is.
She is a resident.
Yeah.
She is a citizen of extraordinary ability. 100.
She got it. She
that
got it
right there.
She got it.
Brandy.
Got it.
Brandy.
Yeah,
Got it.
I like it.
I
fine.
honor that.
That's fine.
Okay,
you
thank
have
you.
top 6.
I
Thank
honor
you.
that. Your top 5 R&B songs.
This one I wasn't prepared for.
Mhm.
Top 5 R&B songs. A Song for You by Donny Hathaway.
Yep. Kick it off. Go ahead and kick it off.
I'm gonna go. Overjoyed by Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm. Building my castle of love.
Oh, the music in that could just make me cry every
musicality
time.
is just, yep.
Every time. Let me dig deep into my well of songs that I love to sing. This is tough. Songs are tough for me. I mean, I'm gonna go with my artists again. Brandy. It's I think now I'm drawing a blank, but I can hear it in my mind. It's is it When You Touch Me?
Yes, it is.
I'm sure it is.
Yes, it is. You're damn right it is.
Yeah.
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 You better believe it
When
is.
You Touch Me.
You shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My.
I'm gonna go with Killing Me Softly because
Yeah,
it's Lauren.
I'm
I'm
with
going
it.
with my artist, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is my last one, my last choice. I want to be so thoughtful about it. It's going to be Anita Baker, Rapture.
Way to close out.
It's like however you were doing
Way to
those
close
breaths.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you were doing, you were tapping into something.
Yeah.
You know, I have to go into a place, it's emotional for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about the songs, how I like to sing them, or where they take me to, where's the place I am. And I just remember listening to Anita with my mom playing it in the house on Saturday mornings and just thinking like, oh.
It is that.
The feeling.
100%.
Yeah.
It is 100% that.
Yeah, I like that list.
Love it.
Great. You approve? We're celebrating it?
Yeah.
Because you know.
Ain't no
Full
mediocrity in that list.
No, not at
It's
all.
all champions in that list.
Yeah, we like that list.
Let's build your Voltron, your super R&B artists. Who are you going to get the vocal from, the performance style from, the styling from, and the passion of the artists? To make your super R&B artist, what one vocal are you going to grab?
The one vocal I'm going to grab is I'm going to grab Mike.
I knew when she started breathing, you were going to say
I'm going to
Mike.
grab Mike.
Because like that was a breath that said, "I'm gonna
It's
go.
a Michael breath.
I'm going to the moon with this breath."
Yeah, I'm going to grab Mike. That's the voice. Yeah.
The moon.
Uh-huh,
I'm nice. That rap.
Nice with it.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Performance style,
Performance style.
like on stage, how they do it.
This is very, very tough. Bruno Mars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Came to me.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno be cooking.
He's tough on stage.
He be cooking.
He's tough on stage.
You know what I mean?
He's
And he told you he ain't scared to toot and get up out there and do what he do.
Listen,
That's none of my business.
He put it out there.
He put it out there.
None of
He put it out there.
None
He's
of
an
my business.
underrated dancer.
Yes.
He's an.
It's not spoken about.
They don't talk about it. That boy can dance.
Yeah, he get busy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he really come from the school.
No,
of
he's
it.
in school. He's
street
from the tutelage.
performer. He went through the whole process.
He's nice.
Bruno
Yeah.
Mars.
High level nice.
A performer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fire show.
Yes.
Style of the artist, the drip.
Erykah Badu.
How they gonna dance in all them clothes?
I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
Listen.
Don't worry about it.
Listen,
Don't
man.
worry.
Listen,
You know
this
what?
is
You're
Voltron.
right.
Anything
You're
is possible in Voltron.
You're right.
Them clothes could
Anything
be
is
levitating,
possible.
okay?
You're right. You're right.
Okay.
I'm not
You
gonna
need
question
flowy
what
clothes
you're
when you
doing.
dancing. You know what I mean?
Mike
Listen.
voice, Bruno performance.
I could even interchange
Badu
that.
clothes.
And Baduism.
I could interchange. I could do Bruno voice and Mike stage. It could be either or, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
But-
Of course. With
Mike.
But it's-
with Badu's clothes
With
on.
Badu's clothes on. Badu's clothes is it.
I'm
Like
gonna let you cook.
That's
'Cause
it.
it's let you cook. And the passion of the artist, the heart of the artist.
Stevie Wonder.
Mm.
A heart of gold.
Yes, very passionate.
That man is still out here doing his
God's work.
God's work.
God's
his
work.
life's purpose work. After everything that he has accomplished,
Yeah.
he still gets out there with so much love
You better believe it.
in his heart.
Yeah.
And that is something that I don't think that we see and feel enough of. And he's dedicated to it.
And it's different. Like Usher brought him out on this tour here in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And he started singing, just him and his piano. And I was like, Tank, you're not going to break down crying in front of all these people. Chill out.
But
Take
yes.
a breath.
That's your inner voice told you.
I was
Don't
man.
cry.
I was
Don't
talking
cry.
to
Meanwhile,
myself.
therapy Melanie is like, let it out. Let it out. Everyone would understand.
Everyone was. It's cool.
It's Stevie.
I'm sitting there, and we're in the VIP like high rise section, like
Yeah.
all eyes on us. I'm like,
Yeah. They wouldn't understand. They'd have been like, Tank up in there crying because
No.
he ain't up there singing.
you know what I'm saying?
They flip it
Those
on
are
you.
jealousy
Those are
tears.
jealousy-
That's how they gonna frame it.
That's how the
Tears.
people
That's how the
perceive
people frame
shit.
it. That's how people frame it.
Fuck the people.
He said, fuck the people.
Fuck them people.
It was,
Yeah.
it was still amazing.
Of
it was
course.
still spiritual. It was still connected. It was
Yeah.
nigga.
Do you know that Stevie Wonder once said, I was with him, and he once said, I listen to my own music. He says, I listen to my own music when I need to feel God. He said, because everything that I've ever created has come from God, because I don't have the gift of vision. So I only know this conversation with God and these gifts. So I listen to myself when I need to feel close to God. Like, that's why the passion and heart of that person is needed in the world.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it can only be God.
Stevie.
Steveland.
He said ribbons are in the sky.
Oh,
That could-
can we go back and talk about songs again?
Only.
Oh my gosh.
God could have only given him that vision.
Hello.
He didn't see no liturgical dances.
Hello?
Get out of there, Tank.
Okay.
Get out of there. Cause Stevie gonna kick Tank ass.
Y'all got beef? Y'all got beef?
It's this thing. It's this thing.
It's a thing?
Just
I've had people come up to me and tell me it's a thing.
Don't
Stevie
drag
looking
me
for
into the
Tank.
thing.
Hey,
Don't
you hear
drag
me?
me into the
I
thing.
heard Stevie looking for Tank.
Stop. Hello, Mom? Yeah. I'm not going to go into the depths of hell here. I'm just going to stay right here. Yeah. Call you after. Bye.
I ain't saying no names.
Hey.
I ain't saying no
Oh,
names.
God.
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no name. Who you was, who you was with, what you did.
Yeah.
Don't say shit. I ain't saying no name.
Yep. We're here now. We're here now. We're at a very, very important part of the show.
Wow.
That's part.
Will you tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up? The only rule to the game
Okay.
is you can't say no names.
Okay. It's a little fucked up.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, a little fucked up.
Okay.
I was on a flight, and I was sitting next to someone where we were discussing the event that we were just coming from, and we were talking about a particular person who I knew that I wasn't feeling at the time. Because I had once known this person very well and felt connected to this person.
Yeah.
But a short few years later, didn't feel connected to them anymore. And as we were having this conversation and this person was expressing their thoughts on this person as well, we didn't realize that there was a family member of the person that we were talking about sitting behind us.
Right behind you?
Right behind.
Oh, this is great.
Right behind.
This is great.
Yep. So there was a confrontation.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That person said, so what you
so
say?
they stood on business.
Yep.
Okay.
But so did I.
Yeah.
But so did I.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm very sorry you had to overhear that conversation.
But it is what it is.
But I do feel this way about this person, and I am the only thing I'm apologizing for is that you overheard it, and I'm really sorry that happened. I should have been more mindful about where I was, and that was that. And then I saw that person a few years later, and hadn't seen them for many years in between, and and that person looked like they wanted to talk to me, and I was just like, peace and love. Got nothing but peace and love for you. And just kept it moving. And now that is a far distant memory in our past. Yep. It was uncomfortable.
That is great.
It was uncomfortable.
Was
But
the conversation mid-flight?
oh no, it was in the airport after.
Oh.
They waited.
They waited.
Because they needed some space.
Because the feds.
Yeah.
You can't be playing on no plane. You can't be playing on no planes.
They waited. They waited.
Like,
they
get off
waited.
this plane.
Mm-hmm. They waited.
So what was you saying?
Yeah.
In 2A?
Yep. That's exactly where I was in two. Yeah, C.
Yeah.
2C.
You was in the aisle?
I was in the aisle. I was in the aisle. Yep. It was, and I knew the family member. So that it's not
You
like
just didn't know that they
I
were there.
didn't know that they were there.
That is great.
Yeah, it's great now. It wasn't great at the time. I don't like drama, you know? And so
you weren't doing it for drama.
I wasn't doing it for drama.
And it's hard to know that person is right.
But
there.
you know what? It was back to my lessons of watch your mouth. Truly. Because you don't know where you are. Right. And you don't know who's around or who knows who. And that was a valuable lesson. And I think that's a valuable lesson for anybody.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you just be talking and you're just like, da-da-da-da-da, but you don't really.
But if it's how you truly feel.
It is. But
and it was a warranted conversation between you and whoever else.
Yes. We were having a discussion.
It's kind of a privilege.
It was like an opinion. It was like more of like an opinion.
It's kind of a privileged conversation in a sense.
Not if I bought 3C.
That part.
And I'm sitting in 3C and they talking about my cousin. I'm going to tap you on your shoulder when we get off this plane.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm definitely
I'm
tapping
not
you on your shoulder.
because now I know.
No, but you know what the thing is though? It's because I knew the person.
Oh, you knew?
I knew the person.
Oh, okay.
I knew the person.
She knew
so
them
I thought
too.
you knew who they were.
No.
Okay.
No, so they came up to me and were like,
That's how you feel?
Like, yeah, like I was just really surprised. Like I've always thought so highly of you, and I was surprised. And I was like, hey, look, I understand why you feel that way. I get it. And I was like, but I'm really sorry that you overheard that conversation. I should have been more mindful about where I was. And I was like, I'm sure that was hurtful to hear.
Let me tell you something.
I'm sure that was hurtful to hear. That's what I said. Like, because you don't want to hear anybody talking about anybody about your people like that. Like, I wasn't saying anything crazy. It was really just my own experience about how, like I said, I was once connected to this person, then how I felt very disconnected to this person based off of their actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was.
Okay, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
That's a good one though.
Yeah, it is a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
He was going in too. And this motherfucker, let me tell you something.
It was, you know what it was? It was a conversation of taste.
Yeah.
And we were on the same taste.
If y'all was on the same page, sure, you can imagine
Oh,
that. But
man.
yeah, I'm saying though, like you too.
Yeah.
It was going up. Give me another Jack and Coke. See,
the thing is, I really didn't like when they did that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was whack. They could have done that better.
was you there for that one time?
Right, right.
It gets exciting.
That's funny as hell.
Well,
So yeah.
Melanie, we have always valued your gifts, your presence, your friendship, your family, our family. We've been doing that a long time, and we are grateful for the opportunity to do a deep dive into where all of this comes from and why it is the way it is.
Yeah.
And we're happy, number one, that you're good. And then we're happy, number two, that you're back.
Yeah, good and back.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're really excited about that.
Thank you.
Like you sing, man.
Thank you.
You fucking sing.
Really sing.
Thanks.
Like that's exciting.
Yeah. That means a lot from this room specifically.
That's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
That keeps I'm always keeping score. I'm always keeping score. You on our side. You on our team.
Voltron.
You know what it is.
Link up.
You know what it is.
She knows what it is.
You know what it is. And we just appreciate you.
I
and
appreciate
we support
you
you and
guys.
whatever
Thank
you need
you.
from us, you always know that.
Thank you. And thank you guys for creating this space.
Yes, ma'am.
This is really important.
Yeah.
Really, really important. Thank you. Thank you for holding space. Thank you for holding the time because I told you I was coming, and now I'm here.
Anytime. Yeah.
And I'll be back for
There
sure.
it is.
Come on, for
Thank you
sure.
guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things.
All things.
R&B. We have been bathed in sound.
I didn't fall asleep.
And truth. And Jay stayed awake.
Stay awake. See that?
And true therapy is taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, she's back. Melanie Fiona.
Yeah.
Woo, thank you guys.